Hey guys, welcome back to Facebook Keto Kitchen, where we're finishing up our last day of 12 days of keto. And today is day 1, partridge in a pear tree. So for some of you who don't know, we've been making recipes according to the song 12 Days of Christmas, and we've been having a lot of fun, and it's been interesting creating different recipes to go with the song. So today, day 1, like I said, and it is a partridge in a pear tree. So if you're on a keto diet or a keto lifestyle, as we say here, we really don't eat fruit, just mostly like not pears, but berries and like blackberries, blueberries, etc., because they have low glycemic. And most fruits have a lot of high sugar in them basically, and we want to keep our sugar to kind of zero almost. And I found out that we can have something called hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Chayote Squash. And it's interesting, I've never seen this before. I think, you know what, I have seen this in the grocery store, but I was just wondering, like, what is that up there? I've never actually gravitated to buy it. And it looks like that, and funny enough, it almost looks like a pear. And when I opened one the other day and made this recipe, I tasted it by itself, and it has like a crisp texture, almost like a pear, kind of similar to a pear, but not as sweet. And it tastes almost, it reminds me at least, of, what is that thing called? Jicama. That's what it reminds me of, jicama. So yeah, so what we're going to do is, I'll show you how to cut this open in a bit, but first, I'm going to tell you, today we're going to make for our day 1, partridge in a pear tree, a pear tart, which is yummy, delicious, and it's actually pretty easy to make. So let's just get this started. So what I did first was I took a springform pan and I oiled it inside with some coconut oil all the way up to the sides and to the bottom, and I layered it with a piece of foil, so just in case we have any leakage, you know, it will hold everything in. I warm my oven to 350 degrees, always do that. And then in this bowl here I have 1 3/4 cup of almond flour, a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 2 tablespoons of powdered erythritol. We also have a pinch of salt in there, and what else? Oh, and we're going to add our 1/3 cup of butter, and I let it sit out to get soft some, and a teaspoon of our vanilla, okay? So let me get that going. We're going to put this, and I mixed this up really, really well with a fork, guys. So our butter's nice and soft. And what you're going to do is cut in the butter, basically to get it like a crumbly texture. And let's do that. And then we'll add in our vanilla. And that vanilla, of course, gives it that nice flavor. It always pops out flavor. So let me get this all mixed up until it gets crumbly, guys. Okay, so it's almost like a crumbly dough, and what I like to do is take it and just make sure I get all that mixed in there, and I'll take our springform pan and I'll just dump it all in. Easy recipe. Dump it all in, guys, and just, oops, okay, and just kind of evenly press it at the bottom and up the side. So you probably get about 1/2 or to 1/4 of an inch thickness, guys. So let's do that. I'm going to stop and show you real fast, guys, that I like to sometimes use the back of a measuring cup to press it in so that you get it evenly pressed in. We're going to bring it up the side slightly for about 1/2 an inch up the side. And this crust actually tastes really yummy. It tastes like almost like a light cookie, like a light vanilla cookie. So that's really delicious. So let's finish pressing this in. Alright, so we have it nicely pressed in the pan, see, at the bottom and a little bit up the top. I'm going to put this on a baking sheet and let it sit there. And now I'm going to show you how to slice up your chayote squash, okay guys? So what you do is, this is a trick that I learned. Someone said, I think I was watching a video, and a guy said that what you need to do, because I washed these and prepped them, in order for the, I guess it's tendency, oops, let me go get another one. We don't want to give me that, give me that. All right, so we're gonna start with another one. So, I'm gonna hold on to the top of that one. So guys, what I found out is that when you cut off the top first, and when I was watching the video, the guy was saying that you need to cut off the top and you need to do this in a circular motion for a while. And apparently it's supposed to remove any bitterness from your chayote squash. And look at that. See how it's foaming up? Look at that. Check that out. So it's getting all foamy because supposedly it's taking out all the bitterness. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. Look at that. It almost looks like whipped topping. So I guess you're supposed to do it like a good 1 minute. So we'll do that to all the tops of the, well, I guess we're going to cut up in about 2 of them. See, it's almost getting there. Look at that. So I can't do it much more, and it's getting foamy. Kind of weird though, huh? Yep, so you do that, and that's supposed to get out the bitterness. And we'll do the second one, and then I'll show you how to prep them, okay? Let's try this one. Yeah, let's do this one. So you just go in a circular motion, and it was a Filipino friend that he said that told him to do this, and because a lot of times people eat these chayote squash and they are bitter. So, you know, YouTube is very helpful to find out information. Whoa, okay, and we won't be using the top of that one, but it's pretty much done. The bitterness is out. I'm going to rinse these off, and I'll be right back to show you how to cut it. Okay guys, so I went and grabbed a potato peeler, and so what we're going to do is basically peel them real fast. Get them all nice and peeled, because I don't think you can eat the outside. Not sure, I haven't tried it and I don't want to take a chance. But we're going to peel it. And guys, let me know, have you ever had a chayote squash? Am I pronouncing it properly? Yeah, when I found out about these and I taste them, I'm like, yum. And they're not even like, they have some good vitamins in them, potassium, I believe I read. They also are pretty low in sugar, in carbs I mean. They're low in carbs. I think it was about 6 carbs and 3 of those were fibers, if I can remember reading. But it wasn't high, guys. And remember, that was for, and actually that was for a whole cup. So if you don't eat the whole thing, which we're not going to all in one sitting on this in this recipe, it's great. So basically this recipe consists of 2 of these, which is about 2 cups. And throughout the whole recipe, you're not, you know, you probably eat maybe a third of it, perhaps. All depends on how much of the pie you want to eat, but yeah. So yeah, so let me finish getting these all prepped up. All right, okay guys, so I peeled the outside of the chayote squash, and what I did was cut it in half, and see it has that little seed in there, that's bitter too, so we're gonna cut that out. So I just use a knife and go around it, and go under it, and kind of like pop it out. See, it comes out really easily, guys. So we're gonna prep each one of these like that. Get all that out of there. Okay. It's pretty simple. I'm really liking this new, well, it's not new, it's new to me, this new fruit or squash. I don't know if it's a cross between, let me know, is it a cross between a squash and a fruit? It's different things that's saying on the internet what they are. It said it's a vegetable, then one place it said it was a fruit. So maybe that's a wiki it, you know? Let me see, get that all out. And be careful, guys. See, it kind of pops out once you go underneath it. All right, so what we're gonna do is just take it and slice it up. And you wanna make it into some thin slices. You can slice it down like this, of course. When I don't pop away, you can slice it thin, very thin, guys. Get yourself a nice sharp knife, but you want it in nice thin, like about like that, see, so that you are able to make your tart look pretty on the top. So once you layer this on top of the crust and put your filling on top, it'll look pretty once it's done. So we're gonna slice these up real fast thin. Okay guys, so I'm gonna show you how to layer the pears in the pan real fast, okay? Well, they're not pears, they're chayote, but you know what I mean. All right, so what we're gonna do is take the chayote and take from the curved part and like start lining it up in your tart pan around the edges first. So as you go around, you'll make a nice decorative pattern, and then you want to layer on top of each one, kind of over layering it, crossing it over like that, and make sure you get all the way to the edge. You can fill in the edges with the smaller pieces as well. Go in like that, and just keep going until you get the entire thing full. So now we have ourselves a lovely pattern. See, with the pears. Well, they're chayote. I want to say pears, but with the chayote. Okay, so now that we have our tart filled, we're going to go over and make the actual filling to go in the tart, and we're going to head over to the stove. So see you over there. Alright guys, so let's make our filling. So in the pot I already started, I put 1 cup of water in there. I put 2/3 cup of regular erythritol granules in there. I put a dash of cinnamon. You can put a little more if you like. I put about 1/4 teaspoon of some ground ginger. And I put 1 teaspoon of liquid stevia. Now you can put as much or less as you like, all depends how sweet you want it. I like to, as you guys already know, I like to put the erythritol and the stevia together to balance it out. And I also put, this is called Loran oils, okay, and this is a pear flavor, and I have all types of flavorings from them. Get it on Amazon, and it's super inexpensive. And I also have found this at Walmart too, guys, but only not where the food's at. I found it where like the candies and stuff, you make homemade candies and stuff, so over there. But this is really, really potent. So I used about 1/2 teaspoon. You can do, if you happen to find pear extract anywhere, use about a teaspoon of it. And this time I put about 1/2 teaspoon, almost a teaspoon in there, because I really want that pear punch to come through. So it's, I don't know if you can see that, Loran oil. So it's really good, guys. I like it a lot. And I got it all in there. I whisk it and I let it cook down a little bit until the erythritol granules kind of dissipate and dissolve. So I did that. And the last thing that we're going to add to the, oh yeah, I forgot, and 2 tablespoons of butter, my bad, 2 tablespoons of butter in there to melt it. So the next thing that we're going to add to this is some xanthan gum. Now, on a previous video, I used the xanthan gum and things got really tricky. It gets really thick fast. So with this, you want to use a very little, even though you know you might want to go, ooh, it doesn't seem like it's a lot. 1/4 cup, I mean 1/4 teaspoon is not a lot. Oh, it goes a long way and it thickens well. So what we're going to do is start off with about 1/4 teaspoon and work our way up until it gets thick to the consistency that I like, and then we'll go from there, okay? But you can find this also on Amazon, and I have, I believe, on my website things that I like to, things that I cook with. You can go to there and click on there and you can find it. Okay, so let's get our, start off with 1/4 teaspoon. And you have to whisk really fast, guys, okay? So this is actually a 1/2 teaspoon measure, and I'm just going to pour a little bit at a time in it. Do it like that. So let's see. Make sure you whisk really, really fast to get it in there. Just like when you're kind of like whisking in like cornstarches and things like that, making a gravy. You just got to go fast. Okay, so far we got 1/4 in there. See if it's thickening up. And I have the eye on low, okay? Let's see if it starts thickening up. Let's get a little more in there. That was the whole 1/2 teaspoon. So let's see how that thickens up. And you can always add more, but you can't take stuff out. So go slow always when you're cooking. So we're going to let it cook for maybe about 2 minutes, and if it's not thick enough, we'll add more xanthan gum to it, okay? So we'll be right back. Alright, so that was a full teaspoon of xanthan gum. And I think it's almost to the consistency that I like it. I'm gonna let it cook a little more. I may just add a dash more cinnamon, guys. So maybe an 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon. You know, I like to taste and go and check it as I go. I think the cinnamon will give it a good flavor. Oh, that's good. Maybe a tiny bit more of the ginger powder. Because I want that little bit of kick there. Like a slight little backdrop of spice in the background. So a little more. There you go. And mind you, you can add as much or as little as you like. If you don't like ginger that much, you don't have to even add it. You know, play with the recipe, add it, make it your own. So I think we got it to the consistency that we wanted. So let me show you a close-up real fast. So here's about the consistency and the look that you will need. See, it's almost kind of like jelly-like, but you want it like that because you don't want your pastry to get too wet in there. You want it to cook up in an even balance. So about right there is right. And see all that, the lovely cinnamon and ginger, it's all mixed in there, so it gives it a little brown look. And then we're gonna go, I'll show you how we'll add it to our tart pan. So what we're gonna do is just pour it on to our lovely chayote and just try to do it evenly as possible. A little bit at a time, you know, it's not a race. It's gonna go like that, and then you can spread it all over. Just get it in there first. All right, guys. It smells so good. It smells, you know, the pear flavoring just makes it smell and taste so delicious. Okay, we got that in there. What we're gonna do is just spread it evenly onto your pastry. And it'll seep its way through once it starts baking. So nicely all over your fruit, and you can even like kind of like poke in like that to get it in between the layers. But those, as it cooks, those layers will start showing, guys. It'll look so lovely. Just get everything covered like a beautiful glaze. And we're gonna pop this right in the oven, 350 degrees, and bake it for about the first 25 minutes, and then check on it, and then another 10 minutes until it gets kind of brown, and you'll see it and you'll notice it, and I'll show you how it looks when it's done. Okay, so let's go and pop this in the oven. Okay, so I've taken it out. It was about 30 to 40 minutes, and you need to let it set up. Once you remove it out of the oven, take off the spring form pan ring, and let's let it set up for a little bit and cool completely before you cut it. And you can also put it in the refrigerator after it cools a little bit to speed up the cooling process so that it thickens up, because all the custard in the center will get nice and thick. Okay, and there you have it, our partridge in a pear tree tart. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series, the 12 Days of Keto. I had so much fun making different stuff, guys, with you, and I got a lot of feedback from the things that you guys made together with me, and I appreciate that. So guys, bless you so much. Have a very Merry Christmas, and seriously guys, without you, I mean really, this keto channel wouldn't even exist because of all your support, love, and encouragement. So have a Merry Christmas, and before you go though, definitely subscribe if you have not subscribed, and hit the bell so that you get notifications every time I upload a video, and like the video if you like the video, and if you like this recipe, and if you like me, of course. Anyway guys, have a very, very Merry Christmas. God bless you guys, and have a great day. Bye guys, and Happy New Year's. Bye.